Did anyone ever warn you that life after 70 could feel like a curveball? Even the strongest, most independent souls often find themselves caught off guard. In today's video, we're diving into 5 harsh and unexpected realities that no one escapes once they cross into their 70s. These aren't just the obvious physical declines or the numbers on your medical reports. These are deeper shifts, quiet changes in how others treat you, how you view time, and how your own memories start to whisper truths you hadn't noticed before. Some of these changes might be things you've already sensed but couldn't fully name. Others may catch you by surprise, yet they all share one thing in common. They shape the way we experience aging. Stay with me until the end, because while these changes can seem harsh, recognizing them can bring peace, purpose, and even renewed strength. There's something incredibly empowering about naming what you're living through and realizing you're not walking through it alone. Let's get started. Number 1, the shrinking world of social connection. One of the first realities that quietly unfolds after 70 is the noticeable shrinking of your social world. Sure, you might still receive the occasional call, still welcome visitors now and then, but the frequency has changed. And even more than that, so is the feeling. What once felt like an easy, natural rhythm of friendships and interactions now feels more scattered, even fragile. Friends move away, face illnesses, or pass on. Family members get swept up in their own busy lives. Without even noticing, you find yourself spending more hours in silence than in conversation. This isn't about bitterness, it's about being honest. After 70, few people openly talk about how hard it becomes to maintain those connections. You notice the decline in invitations, the longer gaps between visits, and even if you've never needed constant company, the emptiness speaks louder than you thought it would. You may find yourself reflecting more, not just out of longing, but as a way to keep loved ones close, if only through memory. The laughter you once shared, the simple daily routines you once took for granted, now feel like precious treasures. And there's nothing wrong with feeling this way. It's not weakness, nor is it loneliness in the traditional sense. It's simply a quiet adjustment almost everyone faces, yet few are prepared for. That's why staying emotionally connected to yourself, to your story, and even to one or two close people becomes more vital than ever before. Because when the crowd fades, the meaning held in a few deep connections becomes more valuable than ever before. You may find yourself longing for the days when family gatherings seemed to come naturally, and friends popped over for casual visits. It might surprise you to realize that these moments now carry more significance than they did when you had them in abundance. In fact, the sense of nostalgia for what was once a simple part of life can sometimes bring a bittersweet awareness. But with that awareness comes an opportunity, a chance to deepen the connections you still have, whether through old friendships that have withstood time or by fostering new ones. There's still room to grow socially. The key is recognizing that quality matters more than quantity. Seek out meaningful conversations, nurture those friendships that remain, and let yourself lean on the people who have shown they care. Number 2, how small health issues turn into big ones. Another reality that often catches people by surprise in their 70s is how even minor health problems no longer stay minor. A simple cold lingers much longer than it used to. A small bruise takes weeks, not days, to heal. A small misstep that once would have been forgotten by lunchtime can now lead to weeks of recovery therapy or even surgery. It's not just about the body slowing down. It's that the body's ability to bounce back becomes less reliable. The margin for error gets thinner, and something as simple as missing a meal or not drinking enough water can throw your whole system off. You may still feel strong, and in many ways you are, but your resilience no longer runs quietly in the background like it did when you were younger. What once happened naturally now asks for your attention, your care, and your patience. And this shift isn't something most people openly discuss. Friends, family, even your doctor might dismiss it as just part of aging. But you notice the difference. You feel the weight of every recovery. You see how your energy takes longer to return. The real challenge here isn't only physical, it's emotional. There's a kind of frustration that comes with realizing your body doesn't cooperate the way it used to. If you've always taken pride in being active, capable, or independent, This shift can feel deeply personal, like a betrayal. You may start to feel like your body is letting you down, and it's tough to come to terms with this new reality. But here's the truth. Awareness is a form of strength. When you begin paying attention to how your body responds, you can adjust. You can slow down without giving in. You can notice what your body truly needs. More rest, more hydration, more compassion towards yourself. Think about the small things you might have once overlooked, like drinking enough water or taking a break when you're tired. These tiny actions can make all the difference in how your body feels on a daily basis. Instead of seeing your health as something that is slowly failing, consider it as something you're learning to nurture in a new way. This chapter of life isn't about proving you're still unbreakable. It's about protecting what strength remains by no longer taking it for granted. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is give yourself permission to recover fully. Number 3, the quiet loss of visibility in social spaces. One of the most jarring changes that comes after 70 is how quickly people begin to overlook you. Not out of malice, but due to a subtle cultural shift that few acknowledge. You enter a room, and the energy doesn't shift the way it used to. You speak, and sometimes others talk over you, not out of rudeness, but because they assume you've finished. You find yourself repeating things, waiting longer to be heard, or feeling unseen in conversations, even with family. This isn't just about being ignored. It's about a gradual fading of presence in a world that moves faster and places youth at the center more than ever. And very few people prepare you for this. It can feel like your age walks into the room before you do. Like your stories, your thoughts, your life experience are brushed aside, even when they carry more truth now than ever before. You've lived, you've lost, you've loved. And yet there are times when your presence feels diminished. This reality can stir up a mix of emotions: sadness, frustration, even a quiet form of grief. But there's strength in recognizing this change for what it is. It's not a measure of your value, but a symptom of a culture that often forgets how to listen to its elders. You are not unseen. The world may not always recognize you immediately, but your voice still holds meaning. And those who choose to truly see you, to hear your stories, your humor, your reflections, those are the ones who count. They are listening, even if it takes them a little longer to truly pay attention. The good news is that you're still here, with stories, wisdom, and experience that matter. Instead of shrinking back, speak louder when you need to. Find those who value what you bring to the table. Speak your truth and share your perspective, because the value of your life's experiences can never be fully measured by the speed of conversation or the volume of the room. Number 4, the narrowing of your daily life. One of the more difficult parts of aging after 70 isn't just what changes inside your body, it's what slowly fades on the outside. The life you once knew, filled with familiar routines, people, and places, begins to feel smaller. Not in a sudden way, but bit by bit. You may find yourself going out less, not from lack of interest, but because everything feels a little further, more draining, or simply harder to navigate. Friends who once dropped by may move away, fall ill, or pass on. Neighbors come and go. Favorite spots close down. Your world doesn't fall apart. It just quietly shrinks. That comes with emotional weight. At first, the loneliness might sound like background silence, barely noticeable, but in time, it grows heavier. Even for those who've always been fiercely independent, there's something unsettling about watching the familiar slowly drift away. Yet, there's strength in acknowledging this. Naming it for what it is, grief, not weakness, brings clarity. It's the quiet sorrow of witnessing parts of life slip away. Not because you've stopped trying, but because you cared. Here's what's also true. While the old world may shrink, a new one can still grow. That growth may not come from travel or grand adventures. It might come from deeper conversations, a bond with someone younger, or the sharing of memories in ways you never have before. Life doesn't have to be vast to be rich. It just needs to stay meaningful. So make that call, even if it's long distance. Join the group, even if it's virtual. Take a short walk, even if it's just to the end of the street. Your world may look different now, but it's not finished. It's changing. And there is still plenty of space for laughter, for connection, and for joy. Number 5, the unpredictability of your own body. After 70, your body starts giving off mixed signals, often at the most inconvenient times. One day you wake up feeling clear-minded, stable on your feet, strong enough to take on anything. The next you're slower, foggier, unsure why your knees feel stiff, or why your hands can't quite grasp that coffee cup like they used to. What makes this especially upsetting isn't only the physical inconvenience, it's the betrayal. You've lived in this body for a lifetime. You've relied on it, and now it keeps changing the rules without warning or reason. You might plan a walk one morning, only to be hit with a wave of exhaustion you didn't anticipate. You might bend down to tie a shoe and realize it takes longer to stand up than it used to. Or maybe you're surprised by dizziness, stiffness, or a strange tingling that fades as quickly as it appeared. And here's the part no one really addresses. This inconsistency chips away not only at movement, but at confidence. Suddenly you're pausing before leaving the house. Not because you can't, but because you are uncertain what your body might do. That doubt can make you feel smaller, more vulnerable, even unsure in situations where you used to feel strong. But if there's one truth that brings comfort, it's this. Your body might not be reliable anymore, but your reaction to it can be. Flexibility becomes your strength. Now adaptability becomes your tool. You learn how to plan, how to pace, how to treat yourself with patience instead of frustration. You begin listening more carefully to rest when needed, to stretch, to speak with your doctor, not only when something's wrong, but to better understand how to stay one step ahead. We've just walked through 5 harsh realities that often emerge after the age of 70. Each one surprising in its own way, and each one capable of quietly shifting how we experience the world. From the thinning of one's close relationships to the physical unpredictability that sneaks in when we least expect it. These changes have a way of catching us off guard. But here's the truth. Acknowledging these shifts isn't about giving in to decline. It's about stepping into your life with your eyes wide open so you can live it more fully, more wisely, and more freely. What stood out to you the most? Which of these 5 realities have you noticed in your own life, or maybe in someone close to you? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one takeaway from today's video and how you plan to respond to it. Whether it's releasing regret, reaching out to someone you've grown distant from, or simply treating your body with more compassion, your experience might be the one that lifts someone else. Because at the end of the day, growing older doesn't mean losing worth. It means gaining perspective. And when we face these realities together, we build strength not just within ourselves, but in one another. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd really like to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and tell us one thing you took away today and how you intend to apply it in your life. Your voice matters to us, so don't hold back from sharing. Reading through your comments brings us real encouragement and energy. If you found this video meaningful or useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep producing thoughtful content to uplift and inform. Thank you for watching, and we hope to connect with you again in the next video.